A beloved Ohio dentist and his wife were found shot dead just feet away from their two young children on December 30th. The kids, ages 4 and 1, were physically unharmed, but will now grow up without their parents. 10 days later, police arrested someone with a direct connection to the family, Monique Tepe's ex-husband, a man she divorced nearly a decade ago after claiming they were incompatible. According to the criminal complaint, surveillance footage captured a vehicle linked to him arriving before the murders and leaving shortly after. But what could drive someone to allegedly commit such an act almost 10 years after a marriage that lasted less than 2 years? Spencer and Monique Tepe were living what appeared to be an ideal life in Columbus, Ohio. Spencer was a respected dentist, and those who knew the couple described them as deeply in love, acting like newlyweds even after years of marriage. They had built a family together with their 2 young children and seemed to embody the life they had worked so hard to create. But on the morning of December 30th, 2024, that life came to a tragic end. Both Spencer, 37, and Monique, 39, were found fatally shot inside their home. Their children were present during the incident, but were not physically harmed. The extended family now faces the difficult task of explaining to these young kids what happened to their parents. Here's where the investigation takes a turn. Authorities began reviewing neighborhood surveillance footage and noticed something critical: a vehicle arriving at the property shortly before the killings and leaving shortly after. Police were able to track that vehicle and link it to 39-year-old Michael David McKee, Monique's ex-husband. According to court records reviewed by People magazine, Monique and McKee were married in August 2015. However, the marriage was short-lived. The couple reportedly lived together for only 8 months before separating in March 2016. Monique filed for divorce in June 2017, citing that the two were incompatible. The divorce was finalized, and the two went their separate ways. Nearly a decade passed. Monique moved on, married Spencer, and started a new chapter of her life. But according to the criminal complaint, evidence suggested McKee was in possession of the vehicle both before and after the homicides. On January 10th, McKee was arrested and initially charged with 2 counts of murder. Just 1 day later, those charges were upgraded to aggravated murder, indicating prosecutors believed there were aggravating factors involved in the case. On Monday, January 12th, McKee appeared in an Illinois court where his attorney stated he plans to enter not guilty pleas to the charges. McKee waived his right to an extradition hearing, meaning he could be transferred back to Ohio as early as this week to face trial. So, what remains unclear? Authorities have not publicly stated a possible motive for the killings. There's no indication whether Spencer and Monique had expressed concerns about McKee in the years leading up to the crime. The question many are asking is, what happened in those 10 years between the divorce and this alleged act? Was there unresolved conflict, or did something trigger this after nearly a decade of silence? The case also raises questions about how such violence can occur in a home where young children are present. The fact that the kids were unharmed suggests this wasn't random, but rather allegedly targeted. However, without a clear motive released by investigators, much of this remains speculation. As McKee prepares to face trial in Ohio, the focus now shifts to uncovering what led to this tragedy. Was this a case of unresolved anger, or is there more to the story that hasn't been revealed? The evidence authorities collected from surveillance footage and the vehicle will likely play a critical role in the trial, and as the legal process unfolds, 2 young children are left to grow up without their parents, facing a reality.